Last year, things were all doom and gloom for the tourism industry, which suffered a major setback due to the coronavirus pandemic. And now the Omicron variant has struck another blow, with many foreign visitors cancelling trips to South Africa. Well, the CEO of Business Council of South Africa, Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa, joins us this morning as we look at tourism figures from last year to now. Tshifhiwa, always a pleasure speaking to you. Welcome to the South African Morning. I mean, when we have to make a comparison between where we were last year this time in terms of tourism and the ability to attract visitors to where we are this year, and even though we are at level 1 lockdown, but we still have this Omicron variant, how would you say we're faring as a country?
Well, thank you for having me. I think, first of all, from the domestic point of view, this is domestic travel. Things are much better than last year. We have seen many people planning their trips. There's more confidence in terms of, people saying, well, we believe that we can be able to travel safely, which is a proof that the norms and standards, as well as the protocols that we've put in place, are working. So, domestic point of view, better than last year. We're still going to compute the numbers. We're still going to compute the economic impact. We believe that, the numbers are going to be, support the industry, support the recovery, and they're going to show us some better results than last year. From the international point of view, we still are struggling. As much as we have the UK lifting the travel ban, it's a little bit too late in terms of the Christmas period, but it gives us confidence that come January, February, March next year, we may start to see some numbers picking up. We were seeing some better numbers prior to the Omicron variant. But however, with the EU, European Union closing their borders to South Africa, and only now UK and Canada that just came on board, I think last night, opening up for South Africans to travel as well as their citizens to travel, it looks like we may be seeing in the coming weeks the reopening of international travel, and hopefully we're going to start to see some rebooking from the international source markets, and therefore we're going to be able to quantify. But what we've seen so far is that, when people rebook, about 30% of those that have cancelled tend to rebook. 70% is lost, and that means that our recovery is going to be much longer than what we anticipated.
Yeah, but then, Tshifhiwa, certainly it does have an element of uncertainty when it comes to those, especially working within the hospitality industry. Because as you're saying, you have let's say, a booking for 100, you anticipate 100 guests, and all of a sudden, because of lockdown measures, because of, the country being placed on the red list, you have a cancellation of all of the 100. It says something about the knock-on effects within the hospitality industry, within those that work within the industry who may not find themselves with a job come this December period.
No, absolutely, and it's a sad state of affairs. That's why we have been lobbying government to remain at level 1 in terms of the restrictions, and any talk that says we may change the status quo simply means that those businesses and entrepreneurs, both formal side of business and informal side of business, it means that now they don't know how this Christmas is going to pan out. And that's why we've been saying that certainty is key, and instilling confidence is key. We cannot have a situation where it's a start and stop. And we did this last year. I remember very clearly on the 27th of December having meetings talking about imposing restrictions. We cannot have that because we know what has happened. 470,000 jobs have been lost within the tourism and hospitality sector. Many entrepreneurs are sitting at home. Many informal businesses that operate, along the beach side, along the road, have been impacted, and we cannot have that happening. So we need to keep whatever we're doing in terms of the restriction where we are. We need to enforce compliance, which we are doing as an industry. And, the public sector, meaning the government, has to, also do its part in terms of monitoring compliance wherever they can. But we have promised, and we continue to do, in terms of, making sure that our members are compliant and will remain open. Anything less than what we're doing now is going to be devastating, to the tourism and hospitality industry.
But certainly, speaking about government, Tshifhiwa, it does put a lot of the spotlight on government to say, then what are you doing to increase domestic tourism? Because if government was playing their role and playing their role effectively, we would have more and more South Africans wanting to have a look-see of what their country looks like. And that comes from the way in which we market our own country as citizens, so that we can attract each other to the different provinces. And we do not find people that are in Gauteng wanting to remain in Gauteng and not knowing that there are other provinces to explore. Certainly that does put a spotlight on things, saying that maybe we need to start beefing up our marketing campaign.
No, absolutely. I think that's critical, Faith, and I think that building a culture of travel is important. As South Africans, where we travel, it's, we go home, which is still travel, but it's visiting friends and relatives. We still need to explore our own country. What doesn't help is the fact that the economy is not growing and many people don't have jobs. Because when people don't have jobs or are anxious about their jobs, they tend to put travel as a luxury instead of something that is a necessity in terms of resting and relaxing. So we still need to build that culture of travel. And building those campaigns, like the short-lived campaign, and many others that's to follow, I think is critical. We are certainly working with South African tourism to make sure that we build that culture of travel. Of course, government is important in that, the Department of Tourism, to make sure that we continue. I know that a lot of people talk about the price, but we need to understand that in South Africa, there are products that range from guest houses to luxury hotels. Everyone is spoiled for choice. And I think that, the price range does allow for everyone to choose where they want to go and to choose how they want to travel. And certainly going for, a day trip or overnight trip, it can be affordable in this country. And I think that a lot of people have supported the tourism industry and are still going to support the tourism industry. But we need to build a culture of travel, and we need to do so fast.
All right, very quickly, in 30 seconds, are we anticipating to make more money, hopefully, this year as compared to last year?
Yeah, definitely. We think that it's going to be a better year, provided we don't get restrictions. I have seen the numbers from October. We're waiting for November numbers. It is better year. And from what we've seen, probably about 40% better than let's say 40% compared to 2019, which is better than last year, which we were sitting at around 20%. So let's see how it pans out. But we believe that we're going to make some better numbers this year.
Good. Better numbers indeed we hope for, as people, I think, are tired of cabin fever. Tshifhiwa Tshivhengwa, we'll leave it there for now. From